Princess Bride was written by William Goldman in 1973. Goldman set the story into a strange context where the book itself is a classic he himself had never read. While sick with pneumonia, his father read him the story, The Princess Bride. After growing up with a successful writing career, he gifts the book to his son, but realizes that his father had skipped chapters that seemed too boring for a 10-year-old. Goldman works to create an abridged version with only the exciting parts left. The story is being interrupted occasionally with his comments about the publishing industry, his childhood memories, and his personal anecdotes. The main story centers around a simple farm girl named Buttercup who falls in love with the farmhand Wesley. Wesley plans to travel to America to create a better life for the both of them. On the way to America, Buttercup learns that Wesley's ship was overrun by pirates who are notorious for taking no survivors. Now heartbroken, Buttercup eventually agrees to marry the Prince of Florin, who demands to marry her because of her beauty. Within a few years, Buttercup is placed in the middle of a plot by her fiancé to start a war with the neighboring country. The previously thought to be dead Wesley is still alive, and after many trials and death, he manages to save Buttercup, but is too late, as Buttercup is technically still married to the prince, and the resurrection spell that gave Wesley just enough life to save her eventually begins to wear off, while the prince is still on the bride's trail, and this is how the story ends. A theme that is very evident throughout the story is the importance of appearance. Buttercup is seen as an object, and her value lies in how she looks. The prince only wants to marry her because he finds her so beautiful, and there's no mention of her intelligence and courage by him. In today's world, appearances are everything. Social media is the hallmark of modern society, but has a large focus on what we look like and less on who we are. We are judged and ranked on where we go and who we hang out with, and how photogenic we are. We are objectifying ourselves and one another. Throughout the book, Buttercup is seen as a pretty face, and faces men with very sexist views. Many times she has been the damsel in distress, waiting for a man to save her. She is forced into an arranged marriage and has no choice or voice in the matter. She is made to do what the men in her life make her do. She is an object for them to manipulate in any way they see fit. She has no real power over her life except in who she chooses to love, and even in that case, she's still left empty-handed. Modern history has shown us the struggle of women breaking the box men have placed upon them. Women throughout history have been objectified as seen as objects for men's manipulation. There are still extreme cases of sexism in the world today, in places where radical Islamic governments have held down the rights of women. And even in America, where it is still evident through the speech of our recent president-elect, speech of how he sees women, and treats women. This is an issue that needs to be tackled up front and changed to create a better world for women of all races, of all colors, and of all backgrounds around the world. In the story, Wesley is subjected to torture by the prince for trying to disrupt his plan. He is strapped to a table, and a device called the machine sucks the life out of him. He is slowly but surely killed in a brutal manner, but is brought back to life for a limited amount of time. Torture is a very controversial topic in modern society. Although we don't talk about it very often, torture does happen, and many see it as immoral. After America was caught using torture as an interrogation method in potential terrorists, or those they thought were involved to get information, the public went on a hot debate on whether or not this method of extracting information was ethical and should be done by the government to anyone. It is well known that the UN has outright banned the use of torture in any way for any reason, as it violates people's human rights. The US has agreed to discontinue its use of torture, but people still have the split opinions on the issue itself, on whether people should or should not torture, if this is the right way to extract information, even though it violates a basic human right.